Hello. Welcome to the Pinball Podcast, where we have signs. Also, welcome to the John Cena
You
Podcast.
should have called it the Doot Doot podcast.
See, I was kind of thinking of like writing out the rhythm of the
Oh, that'd be too
intro.
hard. That'd be too hard.
Yeah. I just said John Cena's an easy one to spell. That's 8 letters.
Yeah.
I'm your host, Liz. Unfortunately, the John Cena Podcast is not run by John Cena. And I'm joined as always by my co-host, Marcus.
Wahoo! It was Money in the
Aren't we
Bank.
having fun? I'm having fun.
This pay-per-view was okay.
This pay-per-view was really decent.
The main
Okay.
event. The main event
Lows
wasn't
were
even decent.
low. Lows were low.
Mm-hmm.
The highs were high.
I'd say, yeah, okay.
Yeah, I think that's
Yeah.
fair.
Yeah, John Cena coming back was all you need to know. That's the cherry on top. But this pay-per-view mainly saw Roman retaining against Edge, Big E becoming the Money in the Bank winner, and Nikki Ash being the other Money in the Bank winner, Charlotte Flair winning the Raw Women's Championship, the Usos winning the SmackDown Tag Team Championship, AJ and Omos retaining the Raw Tag Team Championships.
Something. I'll keep going.
Did I miss anything? I think I got everything.
I think so.
There were only title matches and Money in the Bank matches, I think. I don't know where you went. Oh, Bobby Lashley retained the WWE Championship in a goddamn squash match.
You know what we also got?
What?
Outside of my dreams coming true and John Cena coming back.
What's that?
Also got my dreams coming true in that Jinder interrupted the Money in the Bank match to attack Drew. So now we've got the Drew Jinder feud finally going.
And Bobby Lashley looks strong as hell and actually looks like a strong-ass champion.
Yeah, I'm not so sure I feel the same way about that match, but like I get what you're saying.
Well, for those unfamiliar with our podcast, we put predictions on all the matches, predicting the winner of each match. And not that this applies to this, but if it's a triple threat, who eats the pin? We should have done that for the tag team matches, but we forgot to. And for every incorrect prediction that we have to finish a can of beer or hard seltzer before the podcast is over. So for, say I got 3 wrong, I would have to finish 3 cans. So it stacks up over time, and whoever has the most correct predictions is crowned the Pinfall Podcast Prediction Champion and deals out a punishment to the loser. Now, Liz was our reigning champion after a goddamn coin flip. That's what it came down to, a coin flip. We were tied completely at Backlash, and then a coin flip decided, well, this time around we were tied again, but we made a last minute tiebreaker. 2 last minute tiebreakers. The first one was we both thought a cash-in would happen at the pay-per-view. We were both wrong, so that doesn't count. The next tiebreaker, Liz predicted the Usos would come out and make would affect the match. It would affect the match.
This close. Thanks, Ray. Thanks, Dom. And said nice things about you in the beginning.
And I predicted that John Cena would come out. And he did.
Can't even be mad. I can't be mad.
Yeah. It was a goddamn Hail Mary. Oh.
We had gone through so many times of John Cena being like, "Am I coming back this time? I don't know."
Mm-hmm.
And then today he tweeted about it, so I was like, "No, fuck it. He's not coming back. He's a
Yeah,
liar."
he does it every time.
He's such a bitch.
Wow, Miriam said, "I'm gonna become a Liz is my champion truther." That's not.
Thank you, Miriam.
If anyone should be a truther about anything, it's for Backlash when she won off a coin flip.
Which you
Unfair.
flipped. You
Wait,
flipped that coin.
No, it wasn't Backlash. It was Takeover in Your House. That was the coin flip.
You flipped the coin.
I think it was your coin that I flipped. So.
Oh, I'm sure it was.
Now to go over the predictions, we're not going to go into specifics right now, but our cat also made predictions. If you want to check out the video of her making the predictions, that is on our YouTube, The Pinfall Podcast.
She's lucky she doesn't have to drink.
Yet. So, the cat got 2 correct predictions and 5 incorrect.
Oh, good for her. She tried.
She tried her best. She got one of the Money in the Bank ladder matches right.
I know. She almost got the second one right.
Almost. Liz, what did you do? How did you do?
I got 2 match predictions wrong.
Sounds about right. The Usos coming out, and then the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. And I got 6 correct and 1 wrong. I got the men's Money in the Bank ladder match wrong. But once again, we'll go into specifics later. For now, let me deal out my punishment. This one I'm excited for. I was really hoping I'd win so that I could do this. So, I have sent Liz a Google Sheet. We are going to play Wrestler Guess Who. Now, on the stream right now is the Guess Who sheet that Liz is looking at right now. And that she should be looking at right now. And I have picked one person here. And before each match, she has to ask a question, to a yes or no question to narrow down the choices. And after we talk about the last match, she has 1 guess. If she gets it wrong, she has to drink an additional can of beer. And it's not that hard. There's only 36 you have to choose from. It's not that bad. 1 out of 36. That's piece of cake.
I gotta tell you something though, it's really hard to see this on my phone, so I'm just gonna hope that it loads and we're gonna go from there.
Why don't you just open it on your laptop?
Sweetheart, this thing's working hard enough as it is.
Well, you can zoom in on your phone.
And she's just trying to load it. That's all.
Okay. Alright.
Oh, you got little baby TJP in here.
Yep, TJP's in there. If you need help identifying anyone, I can.
I think I know everyone.
So without further ado, let's go into the first match. Also, I have to drink 1 can because I only got 1 wrong. So Liz, ask me 1 question to narrow down these choices. 1 yes or no question.
Does that count towards my question?
What is it?
Is this Moose with the bandana?
Mm-hmm. That is Moose.
Oh, okay. Great. I ask you a really simple question that's...
Yes.
I hope that you haven't clicked the one that you're going to choose, by the way.
No.
Okay. I just see the one that you've clicked so far.
I have it written down. It's not clicked at all.
Is it a WWE wrestler?
No.
Oh, fuck. Alright. Wouldn't have narrowed it down, but that would have made it vaguely easier.
Oh, I'm sure it would have. I'm sure it would have.
Okay.
All right, so that's
So
your
I'm going
one.
into this first match.
Yes, we'll go into the first match to go over predictions. This is the Mysterios versus Usos. We both picked the Usos to come out on top, and Pete's
Forrest
also
fucked
picked
up.
the Usos. Oh my God, what is happening? You just you just destroy everything?
So I'm trying to shout this so you can hear me. Duvet was on like all the way on my side, and I can't set this up if that's the way it is.
Uh-huh.
I pulled it over, and all the signs were over there, and I thought if I yanked this blanket, I could grab them.
You're doing
I'm not-
great.
Promise I'm not drunk. I just have the mental capacity of a 5-year-old now that John Cena's back.
Honestly, we're all still reeling from that. Also, I gotta change the bottom graphic now with these wrestlers. Gotta
So can we
change
discuss the fact that John Cena's coming back to SmackDown?
the better of the two. Yeah. Yeah, I think it
It's
was
gonna
like
be fun.
I think he's only been on SmackDown as of late because he was on SmackDown to face Bray.
He could have had Goldberg.
Well, I mean, we're still gonna have Goldberg on Raw. You say that like we are SmackDown.
I mean, like, we as the fans could have had Goldberg tonight.
Oh, yeah. Yeah. We'll get it tomorrow, though. We'll get him tomorrow.
Alright, shall I?
Yes.
Alright, so the Mysterios have a new fucking walkout. What the fuck was that?
It was like they were in front of what was that? A Mayan pyramid. One of those.
Yeah?
What's it called? Well, like the stacked pyramids. I forget the name of them, but
Basically, it looked like footage from a conspiracy video.
is it called a ziggurat? Is that what it's called?
I think a ziggurat's like a wigwam.
Oh, is it? Ziggurat. Oh yeah, no, that's something. That's Mesopotamia.
No, it's not anything like a wigwam. I'm so sorry to every history teacher that ever had me.
But yeah, like they were fucking in front of some temple, some pyramid, and they went through some kind of fucking time travel portal. It was so
After
weird.
like getting suited up.
It was so fucking weird. I don't get it. And then they came out in hockey masks.
I didn't want to miss it because I thought it was fun, but also at the same time I was
like it's fun, I guess, but it doesn't make sense. Why? But also it's wrestling. None of it makes sense.
true. Okay. So we start with Dom versus Jimothy. And I've got to be really honest with you. I definitely I've called Jay Jimmy several times in these notes, so if things sound confused, it's because they are.
Mm.
Now that they both have colored hair, it's like very difficult for my brain to keep up with anything. So Dom gets Jimmy in the corner, slugs him, ducks a reversal, and then goes back to punching Jimmy. We get dropkick after dropkick to Jimmy, and then arm drag after arm drag. There's a takedown to Jimmy and a freshly legal Ray. It was vibrating. Down to Jimmy with the freshly legal Ray. Dom drops Ray onto Jimmy, and then Jay gets in. There's a big drop kick to the mouth. Jay ducks a diving Ray, sends him free of the ring. Jimmy then gets in with a falling headbutt to Ray. There's a chop, and then a cheap shot to Ray from Jay. Which, by the way, not to keep fucking rhyming. Another thing my brain can't keep up with is spelling out Ray and Jay. Like, several times that Jimmy hit Jay.
Mm-hmm.
This is not the case. Yeah, cheap shot to Ray from Jay while the ref yells at Jimmy. Jimmy then comes through grinding on the jaw of Ray. Ray, however, slides under a running Jimmy, gets Dom in. a springboard. Oh boy, springboard crossbody to Jimmy, and then a neck breaker. Um, then Dom does that fancy dancy little moonsault shit on the ropes, which looks better and better every fucking time.
Yeah.
It's such an amazing thing to see how far Dom has come since he debuted.
Especially like, yes, or not yesterday. SmackDown on Friday was his first time in front of a crowd, like having a match. He did not skip a beat. He's been fantastic.
I was impressed. And he's been impressing me more and more.
Yeah.
But that said, it's just this moonsault is so beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
Like every time he does it, it's stuck in my head afterwards.
Yeah.
So Jay gets in. Dom drop kicks Jay off of the apron, then gets Jimmy to the apron, kicks him upside the head. He goes for a crossbody off the top of the post, but Dom is then caught by both Usos and flung into the barricade. We get a hip attack to Dom in the corner once we're back in the ring from Jay. And then a body slam to Dom. Jimmy gets in. Both Usos grab a leg and tear them away from each other. Jimmy starts grinding on Dom's jaw. Jimmy goes for a Super Samoan drop, but Dom slides down, sends Jimmy out of the ring. Ray and Jay get in. There's some elbows to Jay and a super kick to the midsection of Ray and a smack across the face. Ray hits a nasty little fucking Hurricane Rana where he even corrected like an overcorrection, which I thought was like not only is Dom impressing me, but like Ray's fixing shit that was kind of getting sloppy in the Thunderdome.
Yeah.
Ray was getting sloppy in the Thunderdome. There's no way to go around that.
Yeah. You know, it'll be a fun ass match now. It'll be opening the forbidden door, but two older guys that like are much more athletic than their age leads them to be. Rey Mysterio versus Dustin Rhodes. I feel like that would be so much fun.
Yeah.
Dustin can fucking go.
I'm really impressed because like Ray was like kind of annoying us for a while. Because we thought Ray was better than what he was doing, and Ray was better than what he was doing because he's doing better than what he was doing.
Yeah, I think it was kind of the Shayna Baszler syndrome where he's kind of hamming it up for free TV, saving it all for pay-per-views, which kind of sucks, but I get it. You gotta present something.
TV because we pay for that TV.
Yeah, but you don't pay per view. That's the big thing.
Right. So Ray sets up for the 619. He cannot get it, and I don't know what their problem is with Ray getting the 619 off in front of a fucking live crowd, but they've got something against it right now. He's just not allowed to.
They're waiting for SummerSlam, I guess, or just on Friday.
Yeah. So there's a right hand to Jay on the apron, and then a seated senton to Jay. It's clean as fuck. However, Ray gets put into the electric chair position. Jimmy gets in and hits. Ray hits like a poison Rana almost onto Jay, right into a super kick. Jimmy. It's like it kind of fucks himself a little bit, but it's still a cool move. And then Jimmy hits a fucking the cleanest pop-up Samoan drop I have ever fucking seen.
Oh yeah, Jay and Jimmy,
fluid.
They give the best Samoan drops. Like no one else does it better.
The Usos do annoy me sometimes because they don't sell moves that are supposed to fail at all. It drives me crazy. However,
you mean like they don't commit to dives and stuff like that?
Yeah, exactly. However, this shit was so good, so good. This was another one of those things where it was like, why is it the fucking kickoff? Like, I know it's the fucking kickoff. Also, So Dom drags Jimmy out of the ring as Jimmy goes to cover. Jimmy sends him into the post. Ray then rolls up. Hey, I guess is legal now. Not bad. Take that note. Ray rolls up Jay. No luck. There's a 619 though that is meant for Jay. Hits Jimmy instead, who takes the bullet for Jay. You get a kick upside the head to Jay instead, but Jay gets Ray into the ring, hits him down, hits the frog splash. Jimmy gets in. They do their Team Uso splash, or they rather set up for the Team Uso splash. But Dom kind of saves Ray by distracting Jay, bringing him down. However, Ray's buckle bombed and rolled up and assisted by Jay, so it's kind of a dirty pin, but
Oh, of course it's a dirty pin.
Usos win.
It protects the Mysterios, which is nice. I can't wait to get that obligatory rematch, probably this Friday, if not next Friday. But I wonder who's gonna be the next challenger to them, because they're not like a tag team that once they get the titles they'll fall out of relevancy, because they're still on that island of relevancy right now with Roman. It might be like Street Profits are not in any position to go for a title. Chad and Otis, maybe. But I don't see another SmackDown tag team, right? Dolph and Rude are like non-existent.
Yeah. That's all I can think of.
Yeah. I don't know. They might just write in, although with how much they've been building up Otis, they might be next. It's just, it feels weird with the two heels going at each other for a WWE product.
I don't know. I think what's going to probably end up happening here is I think they're going to have Ray and be attempt.
Yeah, they'll re-challenge like always. And that'll give Otis another chance to maybe have another match against Cesaro. See who comes out on top there. Which will probably be Otis. But awesome, the Usos finally got the tag title.
Yeah.
So now up next, we don't have anything before the women's Money in the Bank ladder match, which this match was fucking disappointing. In my opinion.
I know. In my opinion, it was fantastic.
You had the highlights. There were a lot of highlights, like Natalia was great, Tamina was great, Liv was great. But that finish was so bad. They're all fighting on top of the ladders, and then Nikki just pulls it. It's like, it's not exciting.
It was so stupid, and there were so many people in that match, and by so many people, there were two people in that match should have won, did not win.
You just think because you predicted them.
No, that's not true. I genuinely think that Liv and Naomi deserve the title shot more than anyone.
Liv definitely. Naomi, I mean, if we're talking like full career, yeah. But if we're talking about where she is in her storyline and everything, and booking wise, wouldn't feel right. But I guess Otis was kind of in the same spot.
Yeah.
But yeah. So before we get into the match, Liz, ask another question for the Guess Who. Try and spice up a little bit. Don't just go for brands.
Okay, I won't.
Okay.
Is this person has this person had a match that we watched recently within the last week?
Yes.
That wasn't a smart question.
That could be a lot of people.
Watch a lot of wrestling, actually.
We've watched like 90% of these people.
I don't think that eliminates anybody except for maybe one. Which actually, no, I don't even know if it eliminates him.
Who are you
Fuck.
thinking? Who are you thinking?
JP.
TJP?
Yeah.
Trying to think if we watched a match with him lately. I don't know.
Oh, I might have to get up again.
Okay.
Might not. I might not. Depends. There's on many things. I'll have to get up again. My phone isn't charging, and I need it to charge if I'm going to do this.
Okay.
Okay, so am I jumping into the women's match?
Yes. And if we're giving an MVP of this match, fucking Natty. Natty carried this match throughout. Natty and Tamina both carried this. Both are MVPs. They set up all the spots. It was insane.
Yeah, actually, you're right. Alright, so I'm gonna try to fly through this a little bit, only because I've got like pages of notes.
Okay.
Alright, let's begin. Everyone just runs for a fucking ladder to begin. Natty shoves Zelina. Bliss does some weird shit where she tries to like levitate the fucking thing down to her, and I was like, I swear to God, if you win this by magic, I'm gonna have a fucking panic
That was
attack.
so stupid. And my favorite part is nobody fucking knows what Alexa's powers are. Nobody. They haven't established anything. They established the hypnosis. But they've teased so much other.
How much are her powers gonna work now that we have a live crowd?
The hypnosis will work, as we saw.
Literally all we got.
But
she can't make things fly from the ceiling now.
The crowd's still popping for her. They popped several times in that match. Someone had a Lily doll.
Crowds are sometimes not right.
As we see with the CWC crowd in MSK. Or the Daily's Place crowd in Ethan Page. Yeah. But anyway.
Anyways. Asuka German suplexes her, which was the totally right move. Zelina then attacks Asuka. Liv attacks Zelina. Natty takes out Liv. And Nikki with a tornado, Natty takes out Liv, Nikki gets a tornado DDT to Natty, and then Naomi hits the rear view onto Nikki, and Tamina attacks Naomi with a super kick. Because they all have finishers, in case you didn't know.
The most of this match was really fun. Like, I liked when they were dealing out their finishers. I liked how they immediately grabbed all the ladders. That was smarter than what the men fucking did, and they just fucking brawled at each other for 10 minutes. But 90% of this match was fun.
Let me say, I'm not mad because my prediction was wrong. Like, I am mad about that, but like, that's not why I think this was stupid.
I mean, my prediction was right and I'm wrong. And I'm mad.
My prediction was right and I'm totally wrong. So Bliss gets a sleeper on Tamina. Tamina hits her with an elbow after getting free and then sets up a ladder. Liv tries to climb the ladder, but Tamina just lets it go because Tamina hasn't actually like, set it up. Zelina had the same idea, so she was also trying to climb off it, so she got tossed off the same. And then splashes them both in the corner. Asuka attacks Tamina. They're just shoving each other, swinging wildly. There's a hip attack to an entering Natalia from Asuka. A drop kick from Asuka to Tamina. Asuka then slams the ladder onto Tamina's throat, and I was like, baby girl, that's not like a face move, but okay.
Wait, Asuka did that?
Yeah.
Yeah, but like Asuka's a tweener kinda. She's great.
And
like she'll do
she should
heel
go full
things.
heel. She should go full heel. I think that would be a really awesome thing to see.
She should, but I don't think there are enough face women to do that. I don't think. I would definitely love to see heel Asuka again. Bring back the green mist. Why'd she stop doing that?
Endemic?
I think I heard like they ran out or something. Like they stopped producing the green mist.
It could have been that, but also I feel like the pandemic, maybe like spitting in somebody's face is not ideal.
I'm talking about the kayfabe reason.
Oh, I don't know.
But yeah, that's definitely the. Although she used it against Sasha several
Maybe there was
times.
like some people that said some stuff. I don't know. Maybe it was internal.
It was internal. Like she couldn't produce it anymore because she was too much of a face.
I meant like company wise, but yeah.
Oh.
Um. Okay. Asuka goes to climb the ladder that is currently on Tamina's throat, but Tamina starts lifting the ladder. Liv Morgan then comes through, slams it down onto Tamina, and then sends double knees to the jaw of Asuka. Goes up the ladder, but Natty pushes her off the ladder. And then they start arguing with a ladder, and Nikki gets in. And then Natty and Liv slam the ladder into Nikki, and then Naomi and Tamina come in, and they're arguing over the ladder on like the perpendicular sides. And there's a kick to the head of Tamina from Naomi, and then a Samoan drop to Naomi from Tamina, and then a hip attack from Asuka to Tamina. Natty slams the ladder into the ribs of Liv in the corner because we're still doing that. And then Alexa's here. She's being fucking weird. She's crawling up the ladder. Liv is screaming in terror. It's kind of goofy.
But Liv was selling it real well. She was doing a good job.
Yeah. And this was after she hit a backbreaker to Natty, which looked really, 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 really,
I'm
really,
shocked.
really, really bad.
I'm shocked that when
backbreaker.
Alexa Bliss was climbing that ladder, it did not slide backwards. I don't know how, like what kind of grips that those ladders have, but like that and when Nikki Cross jumped off the ladder, I don't know how those things don't move more.
I also just like want to say that like when they show us like backbreakers from Roddy,
Mm.
then they show us those goofy ass backbreakers where like they take the person and bend them over their leg. It's like,
I mean, like what Randy Orton does, kind of.
well, what Bliss did today to Natty.
Oh yeah.
It's like it's. Sorry. I've seen a real backbreaker. This doesn't compare.
It's got to be done like real forceful for it to look well done.
Yeah.
Like if Bobby
Fair.
did that to Kofi.
Right. So, Natty then grabs Alexa from the ladder. Drop toe hold sends Natty into the ladder from Bliss. Bliss wrenches Liv down and then sentons onto her, then starts setting up a ladder. She goes up, Zelina goes up, and then they start getting into the staring contest, or rather hypnosis. And Bliss makes Zelina go down the ladder and then goes back up, and Natty grabs her. Yawn. Slams her into the ladder, and then she powerbombs Bliss. Natty goes to go up top. Zelina stops her. There's a facebuster to Asuka from Zelina. Then okay. So then we have a ladder set up on the second ropes. Two at a 90-degree angle, so it's kind of like in this like little diagonal space here.
Uh-huh.
And Liv and Zelina are balancing on it. Liv slams Zelina into the ladder face first, and then Zelina somehow ends up laying on the ladder, and I was like, that didn't make sense compared to what happened, but whatever.
Thank you, tough crowd, for the follow.
Yeah.
Glad we have the tough crowd on our side.
I rambled through this fucking match. So Naomi comes through in this, and she powerbombs Liv into Zelina on the ladder. Naomi takes out both Natty and Tamina and hits them both with a double stunner. Then we got Nikki versus Naomi. She jumps at Naomi. Naomi drops Nikki right onto a ladder and then hits the leg drop. Naomi then climbs up. Natty stops her. Natty climbs up. Zelina stops her. Has her on her. Like, Zelina gets on her back like a fucking backpack, but like with a sleeper hold. So like a backpack like with a turtleneck on it. Natty like goes to get the briefcase, but Zelina has the sleeper. Natty like can't. Zelina grabs the briefcase. Liv runs up, drags both women down. Because Liv is doing the fucking most and gets the fucking least out of everything. And then we have all the ladies fucking fighting. Nikki Ash, however, is up top on a ladder that's ringside. She
She's
flies down into all the women.
I'm thinking the wrong moment. Never mind.
And this is where they're like, "Oh, Nikki Ash can fly," and I was like, "She literally crashed to the fucking ground. What are you talking about? It's not flying. That's the exact opposite of flying. If that's flying, then I can fly out this fucking window."
It's stuff like that. It works with the kids, so you can't be too hard on that. They're doing the most with the kids because the kids haven't had much over the course of the pandemic.
They're doing the most with the kids because they're not hitting it with the 18 to 49
Demo.
Demographic. Thank you.
Demo, yeah.
So that's why they're appealing to the kids. However, so Nikki then goes to climb up top. Bliss stops her. They start kind of fighting each other. We get a Sister Abigail to Nikki. Bliss then climbs up. Natty stops her, and then Tamina comes through. They toss Bliss into the barricade, slam a ladder into her stomach, and then the entire field of women bury her, and Natty says it's what she deserves. And I was like, you got a fucking point, honestly, Natty.
Yeah. I mean, I don't entirely hate what Bliss is doing. I obviously hate the booking and the writing of it. But like the whole standing on the turn post, just like fucking still, that's cool. I like that. But the powers is what I hate.
Because no one knows what they are.
Yeah, it's not only that, but like you bring powers into it, it's like why not just use your powers constantly? It's I think why people hate the Seth Rollins Fiend Hell in a Cell match.
Yeah, that's fair.
It's one thing if they establish that Alexa Bliss just likes to wrestle, so that's why she doesn't use her powers. But she does use her powers, but like not entirely. I don't know. It's so. It seems like they're even confused by it.
Yeah, because the announcers don't know what it is.
Yeah. I don't know. It's annoying.
So we then have Tamina grabs a climbing Liv. Liv attacks her for doing so. We get a shoulder tackle with a forearm to Liv from Natty. Natty sets a ladder up, but Liv grabs her. And funny enough, this ladder is set up to the left of the ladder that already existed in the middle of the fucking ring.
Mm-hmm.
Then Natty is slammed face first into that ladder by Liv. Liv then starts attacking Asuka and Zelina. We get a facebuster to Asuka from Liv after a failed hip attack. Liv goes up top. There's another ladder set up, by the way, to the right of the ladder in the middle. We've got 3 ladders, 6 sides. One painful journey. Liv goes up top. Naomi goes up top. All ladies go up top. In my notes, I say this is silly because it was fucking silly. And then Nikki somehow fucking wins.
The worst part about Nikki
It's stepping
winning,
on Liv, basically.
the worst part about Nikki, like in this finish, is that she was sharing the ladder with Liv, so Liv could have done something.
What I thought was gonna happen was like a massive, like somebody was gonna come through and then just shove all the ladders over, so everybody falls off. That's kind of a reset.
I
Thought that was what was gonna happen, and it didn't.
I was hoping we get like a ladder summit where we just get all the women just sitting on top of ladders, just talking.
Like the one men's
like Chris Jericho, Kevin Owens,
Cesaro.
that was great.
It was really good.
We gotta have that again, but like with the women.
Remember when John Cena came back?
We're not there yet. I've got stuff I want to talk about with that. So,
however, the one thing that we can say here, as what is it? Pessimistic as I am, Nikki looked really fucking happy to get it.
Yeah, no, Nikki totally deserves
it.
You can't knock her for this.
You know who deserves it? Nikki Cross deserves it.
Yeah.
It's Nikki Ash shit. Like, again, I get it. But Nikki Cross deserved this. She got nothing consistently, and she got shit on. She got stuck in catering.
You know who got this? It wasn't Nikki Ash. It was Nikki ASH. Because, like Miriam said, they're pronouncing every letter instead of just saying Ash. Because they have to drive home almost a superhero. It's like, we get it. We can see that she's a superhero. Don't reiterate it every time we see her.
Mark, she's almost a superhero.
I'm almost done with this podcast. Okay, alright. Anyway, after that, we had a little promo. We had the Bloodline in their suite, in Roman's suite. The Usos are cheering themselves on after winning the title. Roman doesn't look impressed. He says, "Hold on to it for me. It's been a long journey. You're smart enough to learn from your brother." He's talking to Jimmy. "But let's not get this confused. Winning those was the easy part. I did all the heavy lifting. You wouldn't be here if it wasn't for me. But we're here now. It's all about the representation. Time to give me what I want." Jay says, "You're the head of the table, Oos. I'm your right-hand man." Jimmy says, "Me too, Oos. I acknowledge you. You're the tribal chief." They'll have a group hug. They are fully brainwashed.
Yeah, it's broken.
We thought they were being a little weird in this promo, so we thought they would like interfere and attack Roman. No, they are just legit fully brainwashed.
Yeah, it's kind of weird, but it's fine.
Fully gaslit.
It's like gatekeep Roman Reigns.
Yeah. Yep. Alright, so then right after that we have the Viking Raiders versus AJ Styles and Omos. And Liz, we both picked AJ and Omos. Kat picked the Viking Raiders. But before we start talking about the match, let's go back to some Guess Who. Some wrestler Guess Who. Liz, ask me a question.
Doesn't help that my sister is nicknamed Kat, because I thought you were just talking about her.
Okay.
You said Cat had, and I was like, okay.
Oh shoot! Hold
So
on.
I'm gonna.
Okay, I gotta bring the I gotta bring the screen back. There we go.
I had a question.
Uh-huh.
I'm gonna lead up to that question with a first question.
Okay. I'm only answering one question.
I know. I'm saving my next question because I'm worried that this might narrow it down too much.
Okay.
The best of your knowledge,
Okay.
is this wrestler from America?
From America.
Best of your knowledge.
As far as I
Next
know.
question will be much easier.
As far as I know, yes. I can look it up if you want me to.
I mean, if you want to, but it narrows down at least one person for me.
Let me look them up. Let's see. Yes, they are from America.
Okay. I feel like my next question might narrow it down way too much, so I'm excited for that.
Okay. Alright, so.
Alright.
Let's get back into
AJ
it.
Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders.
Mm-hmm.
Not the best match.
I thought
Omos was my favorite
this was
part of
really
it.
fun. This was more fun than the last match.
Usually when I have trouble taking notes on a match, that means that shit, that actually narrows down two people. That means that I didn't enjoy it at all.
The best part about this match was knowing that AJ Styles is so over with the crowd. It's insane.
It's true. The Viking Raiders basically were heels at that point.
Yeah, they're basically just they called an audible on it.
Okay. Ooh.
What?
Like that, and all my knuckles cracked. Very tough.
Okay.
So we start with Eric versus AJ, and then Omos gets in. That's basically how quick that was. Ivar gets in off that. Both men, Eric and Ivar, try taking Omos on, and both men get slammed down. AJ gets in. There's a kick to the spine of Ivar. Ivar starts spearing AJ in the corner. Eric gets in. He slams AJ down. He gets Ivar back in. Ivar is thrown down onto AJ by Eric. Eric gets back in. Ivar sends AJ into a knee from Eric. AJ then takes Ivar off the apron, gets Omos in. It's an incredible assisted Hurricane Rana. Basically, he ran, Omos helped him up, went off the ropes onto fucking Eric's neck, and then Hurricane Rana'd him.
Yeah, that spot was fucking crazy.
That man is almost closer to 50 than I am to 30.
Mm-hmm.
I'm falling asleep. What does that say? So that was one of those moments where I was like, fuck, that's replaying. AJ gets back in, starts grinding on the jaw of Eric. There's a huge back body drop, though, to Styles from Eric. Ivar gets in. He clotheslines AJ and then body slams him. We get another clothesline. AJ then dodges Ivar, gets Omos back in. Omos gets kicked by Ivar, is a little stunned, but catches a flying Ivar. Body slams him. What?
John Cena is going to be on Raw tomorrow. He's kicking off Raw. Anyway.
Okay. He'll be on SmackDown. This is just to make the introduction to Goldberg a little more tolerable.
No, it won't.
Fingers crossed. Okay, so just a flying Ivar, body slams him. AJ then is in versus Ivar. Ivar starts kicking and chopping. AJ tries to return, but he can't. Eric gets in. AJ jumps over Eric. Eric drop kicks him though. Then hits a crossbody suplex. Ivar gets back in. Eric dumps Ivar onto AJ. Eric gets back in and lifts AJ, and then Ivar takes him down with a flying clothesline. Ivar gets back in, and this is the part that I fucking hate, is that it's just these quick fucking tags. It's like, do something for at least 5 seconds. I'm asking.
That's why I liked AJ and Omos mostly in this match.
Yeah. AJ stuck it out for a while, and I thought that Omos would get in and like kind of crush the match. He didn't, and I appreciate that.
Yeah, the way they've been working those two has been so good, because AJ's still, he does a lot of damage in the match. He's not just, the cleanup guy, or Omos isn't the cleanup guy. AJ's the mouthpiece. It goes both ways.
Ivar gets him. AJ fights away from Eric. Pele kicks Ivar, tosses Eric out as he travels to tag Omos in. Omos gets in. He dumps Ivar, flings a fresh AJ into Ivar. Ivar falls on AJ. Ivar then dodges Omos, sending him into the corner. Viking Raiders start fighting Omos together, because apparently the rule how many people can be in the ring at one time in a tag match doesn't apply when it's Omos.
It doesn't apply when it's a pay-per-view.
The rules are subjective.
More guidelines.
Eric sends Omos from the ring and then flies out onto him. However, AJ tries to roll up Ivar. Ivar kicks. He sends AJ onto the apron. AJ sends a forearm into him. However, once AJ is back in the ring, the Viking Raiders hit the Viking Express. However, Omos throws Eric into Ivar as Ivar covers on AJ, so the cover is broken. Omos gets in, kicks Eric, or there's a kick to Eric from Styles. Omos then just powerbombs Eric and wins.
Yep. it was fun. Pretty fun match. I could definitely see at SummerSlam a really good feud between AJ and Omos and the Usos to unify those titles. That would get AJ and Omos over as faces, and you could still have the Usos retain, unify those titles, really expand that tag division because it desperately needs it.
Agree.
But right after that, we had an interview with Drew McIntyre. He said something seemed different. Oh yeah, Fort Worth, we have a crowd. Give me a hell yeah, brother. If I'm
Did
in
he
the
say that?
No, he doesn't.
Okay.
He might as well have though. If I'm the position, it's not I want to win, I have to win. Last time I was in Texas, I won the Royal Rumble. I don't want to hear Thunderdome ever again. I want to be in front of fans as WWE champion. I know you love story time, especially Drew's story time. Tonight, Drew is rolling into Money in the Bank. He's gonna crack some heads, and I'm gonna become Mr. Money in the Bank. Glad this wasn't an actual Drew McIntyre story time. But the way he said, he never wants to hear Thunderdome again. Like, yeah, Thunderdome sucked, but like, have some appreciation for the past year. Like that was your title reign.
Yeah.
That was the environment you reigned over. Embrace it. Imagine imagine Darby Allin, for example. I know he's a bad example, but imagine him. Imagine Darby Allin in AEW saying he never wants to hear Daily's Place ever again. Like, that would fucking suck.
That was a dick move on Drew's part, I'm gonna be honest.
Like, yeah, Thunderdome sucked. But also, that was still a period of time that was like important for professional wrestling. What WWE managed to accomplish with the Thunderdome is unlike anything anybody's ever seen before. So, come on.
It was just something where it was like, again, we've talked about this a million times, but like, it's that difference between AEW and WWE where AEW at least embraced it. They thanked the fans for being there.
Yeah.
WWE is just like, we want to fucking forget that shit. We don't want to like remember anything that just happened there, whether you were a part of it or not. We don't want to remember that shit at all. And it's like,
which makes me think that like after this past year, are they gonna try and redo everything, but this time in front of a crowd? Like, are we gonna get Drew Champion Part 2 because of a crowd this time?
I fucking hope not.
Are we gonna get Braun Universal Champion in front of a crowd this time?
I'm back.
Oh god. But like, I don't know. Let the fans say that the Thunderdome sucked. WWE and their wrestlers should be trying to convince everyone to appreciate it. I don't know. It just irked me a little bit. But then we had Kofi Kingston versus Bob Lashley. Bobbert Lashley. We both picked Bobbert to retain. The cat picked Kofi. What a silly little goober.
It's her soul.
Yeah.
I get a question though, don't I?
Yes, you do get a question. Let me bring back sheet. Okay. What is your question?
Is this wrestler white?
No.
Okay. Takes people out of the equation.
Okay. Right,
Gotta look that one up.
You have to look up if someone was white.
I don't know everybody's fucking things. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
History?
Okay. Okay. Can I ask who you had to look up?
Yeah, I guess you can. I looked up Chris Statlander and Evil Uno because I don't fucking know.
Well, I mean, Evil
Really
Uno is
never seen
understandable
Evil
because he
Uno's
wears a
face.
mask.
Yeah.
Chris Statlander, I mean, yeah. Um. All right. So you've got more time to think about that. You have 2 more questions to ask, just so you know.
Shit on a stick.
Oh no, you have 3. You have 3 more.
Okay.
So we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. But right now we have Kofi Kingston versus Bobby Lashley.
I stopped highlighting notes after a certain point, so that's fine. It's fine because the Bobby Lashley Kofi Kingston notes are really simple. So Kofi was being held back by MVP from the beginning. Bobby spears him.
This was so sad.
It was depressing. We get a back body drop to Kofi from Bobby. And then a shoulder tackle to Kofi. Bobby starts spearing Kofi into the corner. We get a kick to Lashley that rocks Lashley, but Kofi then jumps right into Bobby's arms and is pancaked. Bobby sends Kofi into the ring post after launching him overhand out of the ring. Then a second time he hits him into the ring post. Then we get a flatliner, and then there's the full Lashley to Kofi, but Kofi sort of gets out of it. And then Bobby just tosses him in a crossbody suplex. Get another flatliner, then the Dominator to Kofi, and then a second Dominator to Kofi, and then the full Lashley, and Kofi loses. That's it. It was so depressing.
There was a 3rd Dominator.
Oh, I'm so sorry. Could I have not seen that?
You will treat our WWE champion, the almighty Bobby Lashley, with respect. But as much of a squash this match was, it was exactly what Bobby needed. It sucks that Kofi didn't get the push that he deserves, and we're kind of building up to, but Bobby really needed this. Especially if they're bringing in Goldberg for him to fight. I feel like now they're kind of on equal levels. Since he was able to beat Kofi without Kofi getting in any offense.
Yeah. It was just kind of depressing because like Kofi is a fan favorite. You would think that he'd get like something.
Yeah. You gotta devastate the crowd a little bit.
Yeah, that's true. Come down a peg.
Yeah. You gotta, like, if John Cena's coming back, you gotta way down the other side, you know? Balanced, as all things should be. Alright, so right after that, we go to Charlotte Flair versus Rhea Ripley for the Raw Women's Championship. And both of us picked Charlotte Flair. I picked for the cash-in to happen here. Liz, you picked the cash-in to happen during Bobby and Kofi, which as soon as that match happened, you know that was a mistake. Cash-in did not happen in this match, fortunately. But Charlotte won the championship. Pete's picked Rhea Ripley, so she's the big loser. So you want to do some guess who?
Me. Right. Very simple question. I know you told me to stay away from brands, but
I mean, I just don't want you repeating questions just for the sake of keeping it interesting. But also, if you have someone in mind, just wait to guess until after the last match.
yeah, I get that.
Okay.
But I think at this point, this question begs asking.
Okay.
AEW or Impact?
I can answer yes or no questions.
Oh, yes or no?
Yeah.
For the sake of the game, is this wrestler on AEW?
No.
Would have eliminated more otherwise, so that's why I said for the sake of the game.
I appreciate it. All right. So, Rhea Ripley and Charlotte. I just want to talk about the walkouts real quick. Charlotte Flair walks out, immediately starts flipping off the crowd.
That was more inside the match, but yes.
She also did it in the walkout, I think.
I know because Peacock censored it.
Oh.
They would have censored that too.
Okay.
The only reason you during the walkout is because people were ahead of us, and I told you that while she was walking out.
Okay. But the crowd was not about this match at all at first.
No.
Like, I mean, I get it. But to chant for Becky Lynch, that's just disrespectful.
There's two women in the ring right now that are like doing everything for you.
Mm-hmm.
Becky Lynch is not ready to do for you.
Yeah.
Like, Jesus Christ.
And we know, like, everybody knows Becky Lynch is there. Like,
Yeah.
she posted on social media. She's there. She's watching. Not only does that make Charlotte and Rhea feel shitty, that makes Becky feel shitty too.
Yeah, and like, this is the other thing, is like, I know I get mad every time we think Becky's coming back and Becky doesn't come back. Like, Jesus fucking Christ, she just had a fucking kid. Like, no, she not just had a fucking kid like yesterday, but she had a fucking kid very recently. She's lucky that she's in a company that's going to give her this time off.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of companies would not give you, in America, a lot of companies would not give you, what has it been? A year off?
13 months. Maybe 14. Because it was May. So yeah, 15 months. 14.
Yeah.
Sorry. She hasn't even re-dyed her hair.
Yeah. Like, until you see her with the fire engine red hair, guys, no offense, she's not coming back.
Which, by the way, you won't until she's back. Like, there's no way she's posting pictures of her with her full red hair until she's back.
I would maybe bet on SummerSlam. I'd be willing to place a bet on SummerSlam being when Becky comes back.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people are supposed to come back for SummerSlam. It was rumored John was going to come back then.
Probably be before SummerSlam.
My best friend John.
Probably be before SummerSlam so she can have a match at SummerSlam.
Now that there's so many... If there's live shows, I feel like we're more likely to get her back.
Yeah.
It's just about the pop at the end of the day. This also begs the question: where the fuck is Sasha Banks?
Oh. Huh. I think she's too busy with TV right now. I don't know.
Think so?
I don't know.
She still has the blue hair.
She's got the blue hair. Well, isn't that a wig?
I have no clue. I've not asked her
it's
personally.
a wig. But yeah, at this point, I don't care where Sasha is, honestly.
I do. I think she deserves time off, but
after all that like anti-mask, anti-vax stuff, I don't want her in crowds. That's just bad news.
Forgot about that, actually.
Yeah. Miriam said, although when Peacock censored Charlotte's middle finger moment, I thought it was gonna be an interference. I was very ready to hear someone's music play. I thought the same thing too. I thought like Alexa Bliss was gonna come out.
See, now that I'm starting to work about this, I said like, if everybody that I'm waiting for comes back, I don't know what I'm gonna wait for anymore. I've been waiting for John Cena to come back since he cheesed it for SummerSlam.
Mm-hmm.
Now I've been waiting for Becky Lynch to come back since she left.
Yeah.
Rather, since she had her kid. But now it's kind of like, if I heard John Cena's music, I would fucking like lose my shit.
Mm-hmm.
So now if I hear Becky's music, I'm gonna go to the fucking moon.
Now, after Becky Lynch debuts, we have to wait for Scott Steiner to debut. It's like his
Um,
walkout is just a recording of Steiner math. It's not even like a music walkout. It's just 33 2/3%. That spells disaster for you. But it plays through the whole thing before he even steps outside.
um, I think we're so lucky though that we got Jay White last night and we get John Cena tonight. Like, both nights I'm going to bed with my head fucking reeling.
Yeah. But one was like a great pay-per-view.
Mark,
I'm gonna,
grass.
I'm gonna say it. One was a great pay-per-view, one was not.
Listen, you know how like they say the grass is always greener on the other side?
Uh-huh.
Grass is greener on the other side. The grass is very green on the other side right now.
We live in a time where there is an oversaturation of wrestling, and it's not overwhelming. It is amazing. This is like the there was the golden age of wrestling. It was like the platinum age of wrestling. This is amazing.
If you step outside of the WWE, wrestling is phenomenal right now.
Even with because WWE still has a good product.
Well, no, I'm not saying that they don't. What I'm saying more so is that because the WWE is so closed in on itself,
Yeah.
you don't when you get stuck in the WWE. Like for example, when we have tonight, tomorrow, and Tuesday, fantastic wrestling on Tuesday. Let's be honest.
It depends. Sometimes they have good days, sometimes they have okay days.
Stop. Not doing that today. It'll end in a fight. But when you get like these 3 days in a row, a lot of times you end up thinking like, oh, this is it. Then we watch fucking AEW, and then we watch fucking Impact, and it's like, oh my god, there could be so much fucking more, but Vince won't let us have it, so.
NXT UK.
We have wrestling at home. This is the wrestling at home.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't mean that by a skill level, I just mean that by a collaboration level. How's that?
Yeah.
The skill level at WWE is fantastic.
Yeah. Yeah. It's just it's a shame that their creative team isn't putting in that much effort.
It's a shame that their PR team is not putting in that much effort to open up the door.
I don't think that's a PR team. I think that's a Nick Khan and Vince McMahon decision. There's a reason they hoarded
Whoever's
all
in
that
charge.
talent.
Right. So Charlotte rightfully flips off the crowd because they're asking for Becky Lynch. Let's start there. Get every right to. I don't want Charlotte to be a title holder right now. I don't think that Charlotte needs to be. I think that there are other women that we could bring up to do this, but
Wait, there's other women?
yeah, actually, besides Charlotte, there's a couple other women in the WWE.
Yeah, but ones that can wrestle.
Well, Mark, as the WWE would like to have you know, women don't wrestle.
Well, that's why Alexa Bliss exists, right? So she hypnosis.
Can I say something actually now that you bring that up?
Yeah.
Now that you bring that up, it's like, what's the fucking point of wrestling if Alexa Bliss is just zip zapping her shit into like her hands?
I mean, that's what people have been thinking with the Fiend. It's like, why do these supernatural people want to wrestle?
See,
that's
the
the
Fiend
ridiculous
is different because
thing.
the Fiend at least wrestles. Like, he doesn't
Yeah.
use hypnosis to win. He doesn't use.
Well, he would drag people into the ring.
That's not hypnosis.
That's not
That's
hypnosis.
just pure kidnapping.
That's just ending the match right there. Like he could just John Cena everyone.
True.
But yeah, it's like That's that question with any kind of supernatural wrestler. Um, or like someone like Luchasaurus. Like, why is a dinosaur fucking wrestling? Why is Bray Wyatt wrestling? Um, it's I don't know. Why is Tian or Mei Ying a wrestler?
I just want to say this real quick.
Mm-hmm.
Bar from wrestling. The Yankees won 1-9 tonight
All right,
without a
so
rain delay.
Miriam asked, wait, whatever happened to the NJPW collab with WWE?
I think Impact and AEW got there first.
Or they're waiting for that surprise debut when Finn Balor walks out alongside Jay White.
Or when Finn Balor finally gets to wrestle Tamatonga. Or
When
wrestle with Tamatonga,
Finn
rather.
Balor gets to wrestle. Oh, you're right. He's on main roster, so he's not going to be doing much of that.
Stop. He's hot. He's gonna do great.
He's gonna be Smiley Finn. They're gonna not take him
No.
seriously. He was smiley on Friday. He was a little bit, a little bit. We don't quite have like as big of Smiley Finn as we did last time he was on the main roster. But they did have in his graphic the Prince with the X's. So Miriam's right. He was smiley at his NXT return too. But you just got to keep the Prince, keep the Demon Prince.
Have we considered yet that Finn's just a cutie pie and he can't help himself?
I noticed I was watching somebody kind of break down the difference between NXT and main roster Finn. NXT Finn would kind of like when he would get in the ring, he would go against the ropes and like hard flex with the guns and it looked like it was straining him. Main roster Finn kind of stands in the ring, looks around, takes in the sights, and does like the woo, woo. But that might just be difference in environment. So that's not the only difference. But
Finn against the ropes doing the little finger guns.
I'm hoping they keep that Finn. I want
Did he not do that?
Finn.
Did he not do that on Friday?
No, I don't think so. I don't think he did it. I mean, he might have done like the abs on the ropes, but he didn't do like the finger guns and like it looked like he was flexing real hard. Also, this person's Justice Amy Coney Barrett, god damn it, asked, any chance we see Cena beat Reigns for his 17th title, then puts Big E over in the cash in at SummerSlam? Don't crush my dreams. Bill Goldberg will bury Big E in the cash in probably. We'll get to that question in the question segment after the show. But thank you for the question.
I don't know the answer.
We'll have time to think about it.
All right. I begin?
Mm-hmm.
Charlotte flips off the crowd. They start slapping each other, Rhea and Charlotte, that is. Rhea sends Charlotte face first to the ground, then drop kicks her. We get some ladies fighting on the apron, and then Charlotte deadlegs Rhea. Goes to chop block her, but Rhea jumps up to avoid, and then stomps Charlotte anyways. We get a drop kick to Charlotte through the ropes, and then a cannonball to Char. But Charlotte is not there to receive the cannonball, so Rhea just falls flat on her ass. Charlotte starts stomping Rhea, punches the neck of Rhea, and then we get a cartwheel kick to her. Hard back elbow to Ripley, and then Charlotte goes to stomp Rhea's knee. Rhea, however, lifts her out of the ring. And then cannonball successfully onto her. We get a clothesline to Charlotte on the third. I don't know what that fucking line is supposed to be. There's two clotheslines to Charlotte. On the third one, Charlotte ducks under. But we still get a snapmare to Charlotte and then a drop kick. Rhea hits a nasty fucking Northern Light suplex. And then eventually Charlotte ends up hanging Rhea up on the ropes. Charlotte lifts her over her shoulders, but Rhea lands on her feet. German suplexes Charlotte. She goes for a big dropkick off the top rope, but Rhea then misses. We get a Boston Crab, but Rhea flings Charlotte forward. Charlotte then slams Rhea with a big boot and then goes up top. Rhea pulls her down by the wrist, sending her face first into the buckle. She lifts her up onto her shoulders into the electric chair position, but Charlotte hits her with the sunset flip. Then we get like this fucking weird ass shit with Rhea getting like sort of an underhook positioning on Charlotte, which Charlotte then kind of transforms into the guillotine on Rhea. Rhea manages to just muscle her all the way up into a vertical suplex and then drops her.
That was so impressive.
That was fucking wild. That made my arms hurt. So after that, we set up for flare chops, but we don't get them. Charlotte sends Rhea out of the ring and then hits her with a boot, sending her off the apron as she goes to get back in. Charlotte goes up top, hits Rhea with an over the moonsault onto ringside. Back in the ring, we get a cloverleaf, but Charlotte ducks under, sends Rhea forward, rolls her up, but it doesn't quite work. We get a kick to the face of Charlotte. Ripley goes for the riptide, but Charlotte hits her with a DDT. Charlotte doesn't do a lot of DDTs, so that was pretty cool to see. Then get some flare chops. Charlotte goes for a dirty pin, but the official sees it. We get a kick to Charlotte from Ripley before Ripley starts spearing her in the corner. Ripley gets Charlotte up top, wants the superplex, but Charlotte attacks Ripley's knee, sends her to the ground. We get another DDT, and Charlotte just starts kind of fucking breaking Rhea. The DDT lands her high up on the head. Or high up on the head. Charlotte wants the sharpshooter, but Charlotte then goes back of the neck first into the buckle. Charlotte kicks Rhea's ankle into the stairs, and then we get a figure eight, and Rhea taps. And Charlotte is the new Raw Women's Champion.
And her tapping means that definitively ends their feud, ideally.
It's Raw.
It is Raw, but Raw's getting better. Raw's getting better.
Lacey had her baby. Also, did flex on the ropes. Did not do the finger guns, but flexed on the ropes.
I think the finger guns is the main difference.
So hot.
But I don't think Lacey's had her baby yet. I don't know. I don't follow her on social media.
She's been out for a minute.
Alright, so after that, we had the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Recap our predictions. I picked Seth Rollins and Riddle to win this. Liz, you picked Seth Rollins and Big E to win this. Therefore, you got this correct. And the cat picked John Morrison and Kevin Owens to win this. So she was very much wrong. Now, Liz, give me an interesting question. Give me an interesting question for Guess Who.
What was my last question for you?
It was, is this person in AEW? Oh no, yeah, if they're in AEW.
It wasn't. I asked you if they were American at one point.
That was before AEW.
Oh. So, have I not asked you if they're white?
Yes, you did.
What was the answer to that?
No.
Okay. Didn't cross them out. I have like this open on my Snapchat so I can like draw on it. Okay.
Ask something interesting.
I'm down to 2 people now.
Okay.
There's
Ask
one
something
question I can ask to answer it.
Don't make it too easy. Come on.
I'm not making it too easy.
You are. You're asking like what brand they are, if they're white, they're in AEW. That's lame. Make it interesting.
I mean, I could just guess who it is. I've got 2 wrestlers.
No, don't do that till the end of the last match. Come on. I mean, good question.
A question I don't even know if you can answer. Has this wrestler held a title at their current brand?
Yes.
Okay.
Okay. All right. So I'm gonna assume that tells you immediately who you're picking. But so now we have the men's Money in the Bank ladder match.
Yes. This will be something that I have to like go through quickly. All right. So Morrison, or first of all the men start attacking each other. That's probably the first place we can start. Morrison hits Seth. Ricochet flies out onto Riddle. Ricochet flies out. Riddle flies out. Ricochet then flies out onto Drew, but Drew catches him. Big E takes Rollins off the apron, and then it's just Big E and Drew. They're slugging each other. Big E is tossed right into a belly-to-belly overhead toss suplex. Big E sends Drew to the apron and then spears him through the ropes. Kevin Owens sets up a ladder. Shinsuke kicks him. Hi. Shinsuke kicks it from his hands, and then kicks Kevin Owens. Shinsuke super suplexes. Sorry. Kevin into the ladder, and then starts setting up a ladder. John comes through, kicks Shinsuke. Shinsuke, however, dumps him off the apron, and then John hits like one of those fancy little parkour moves that he's got off of the ladder, like uses that as like the leverage to push off of, which made me very stressed. Very uncomfortable.
But it's John Morrison. He's gonna nail it all the time.
It's like a cat. They land on their feet all the time.
Yeah. It's John Morrison. John Morrison's fucking killing it. Also, we should actually mention before this match, Peacock.
Oh God.
There was a promo before this match that we completely missed because Peacock was a fucking bitch. It stuttered and was basically a slideshow throughout the entire program, the entire promo, and the beginning of this match. It was not good. It wasn't just us either. It was so many people. It was like a wide scale issue. I don't know how you fuck this up.
It was a pain in the ass. It was so frustrating to watch.
Luckily, we were able to watch it on, one of those streamy things.
I wasn't gonna say it. You did.
It didn't specify.
On a thing.
Maybe
you can
legal.
Watch a thing. So when the thing that you pay for doesn't fucking work.
Free market, baby.
Yeah, right, Pete's? She's in heaven right now. I'm fucking petting the shit out of her.
Well,
you're a good girl.
You gotta talk about the match.
I know, unfortunately. Love to talk about you all day. So then John starts climbing. Nakamura follows him. They start fighting atop the ladder. And then Shinsuke gets a fucking triangle submission hold to Morrison over the top of the ladder, which whenever people do this shit, like whether it's in this position or over the ropes, I never make a point to register how they get the fuck out of it.
Mm-hmm.
Like my brain is always just like, what's the game plan here? Like, how do you get out of that? Like, how do you land on your feet?
Yeah.
Seth, however, breaks it all up. And we have, like, John Morrison and Seth teaming up, and they start stomping Shinsuke together. It was a sick fucking tag team.
This team is,
Mr. Miz.
I want more of this. I want John Morrison and The Miz on SmackDown so we can get Seth joining them.
Listen, the draft is coming up. So.
Yeah. Maybe they'll split up Miz and Morrison, and Roman.
They don't
and
even
Seth.
need to do that. They don't even need to do that because The Miz is going to be out for about a year now. So. Anyways, so Seth and John both grab a ladder. They send Shinsuke out of the ring with it. They take Drew off the apron with it, and then they slam Riddle with the ladder into the face. Seth loads Riddle onto the shoulders of Morrison, and Morrison drops him directly onto the ladder. Ricochet then starts fighting Morrison and Seth. They back body drop him onto a ladder. Johnny drop kicks a ladder into Big E, and then he and Seth high five before Kevin Owens drags Seth out. Morrison and Seth start kicking Kevin. They remove the announce desk visor, and then we get a kick to the face of Kevin from Morrison. A ladder gets set up between the ring and the announce desk, but Kevin Owens avoids it. Seth topples him. We get a lion saw onto the ladder from Kevin Owens, flattening both Morrison and Seth. But as he goes to powerbomb Seth into the edge of the ladder, Morrison stops him. Oh, wait, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to be here. They, however, then powerbomb Kevin Owens into the edge of the ladder together. Drew gets in. He takes out both Morrison and Seth. John goes up top, however. Seth holds McIntyre on a ladder, and Morrison does a funky little jump off the ropes onto McIntyre. Seth then gets a ladder and jabs Drew with it, jabs John with it. He's had enough of the tag team. He's done with it. He ascends. Everyone stops him. An RKO to Seth from Riddle. Nakamura sends Ricochet to the ringside area. Get Shinsuke versus Riddle. They kind of do that anything you can do, I can do better thing where like they kick each other at the same time and all that shit. Drew, however, claymores them both. We get a future shock DDT to E, and then Ricochet is put in the electric chair position on McIntyre, and then the Alabama Slam position on McIntyre. And then he gets Alabama slammed onto a ladder. And then Drew flies out of the ring onto a field of men. Claymore Seth back in the ring, and suddenly Veer and Shanky are here to save the goddamn day, and thank God for that. Because they stop Drew. Ginger comes through with a chair to Drew. We're having fun. Riddle sets up a ladder after that because Drew gets dragged out of the fucking ring. He gets dragged out of the ring, gets dragged out of the fucking arena at that point. So Riddle sets up a ladder. Ricochet then kind of does a fancy little dance on the ropes, jumps to the ladder, sends Riddle off of the ladder, and then Riddle manages to send Ricochet off. It lands on the fucking ropes, then dives out onto the entire field of men.
And even Riddle was like shocked by this. Like, how could you not be?
Like, I don't understand how Ricochet functions.
Yeah.
Like in terms of physics.
Mm-hmm.
Doesn't make sense. Riddle and Ricochet go up on a ladder and they're fighting. They're fighting for a little bit. Seth then goes up top during their fight. Big E, however, takes him down. Big E grabs Riddle, who RKOs him. Then RKOs Ricochet. Rollins, however, stomps Riddle. Shinsuke grabs Rollins, sends him a knee into his chest, then starts going up. Morrison goes up as well. Has the dripstick in hand, sprays Shinsuke. Kevin, however, grabs Morrison, hits him with a stunner. Kevin grabs Shinsuke, hits him with a stunner. Ricochet grabs Owens, nearly gets thrown down in the stunner, but instead gets thrown down in the pop-up powerbomb. Seth then grabs Kevin, fights him down from the ladder that he was ascending at the time, sends him onto a ladder that was set up between the announce desk and the ring prior. And Kevin kind of lands like neck first, folds, and I was like, oh boy. Seth, however, goes to the second ladder, goes to set up a second ladder, starts working very hard to get off Big E as he comes in to stop him. A big ending, though, to Seth off of the ladder. Big E ascends, and goddamn it, that man grabs the fucking briefcase. And I said, you know what, maybe this pay-per-view is worth it.
That was a good moment. That was a really good moment.
It was sweet.
All right. So after that, we had Seth Rollins backstage dealing with the loss. He's in pain. Kevin asked him, so that was a valiant effort out there, but Seth cuts him off and says, effort? Effort? It wasn't good enough. It was my destiny. I shouldn't wait, sorry. I shouldn't have been in that match. I should have been in the Universal title match. But Edge stole that from me too. Change, 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 change. I need a new plan. I need a new plan. Whoever wins the Universal title match, I'm next in line. Little do you know, Seth, there is a little John Cena now vying for it. And then we get Edge versus Roman Reigns for the Universal Championship. We both picked Roman Reigns. The cat picked Edge. Sorry. Now, one last question before you guess. What is your question to make sure that who you have is who you want, or is who I'm guessing who I picked?
Has this wrestler wrestled in a tag team recently?
Has they wrestled in a tag team recently?
Have they wrestled in a tag team recently?
Yes. Okay. All right. So, which that question can go for a lot of those people.
I've been crossing people out, so we're good.
Okay. All right. So Edge versus Roman Reigns.
All right, this is gonna be a long one. I'm gonna try to again fly through her.
Yes, please.
Yeah, I'm also tired. All right, so they spend a lot of time bickering. There's some lockups. There's a slap to Roman. We get a waist lock on Roman. Roman goes down. Edge just kind of fucks with him for a second. The lockups start getting more vicious. We get a shoulder tackle to Edge that sends him from the ring. Sends Rowe yelling. Edge gets back in, starts breaking Roman's arm, snaps it downwards. We get a right hand that drives Edge into the corner and then an elbow to the neck of Edge. The ref yells at Roman and Edge takes advantage of this, twisting Roman's arm over the ropes and wrenching it down. We then get Roman sent shoulder first into the post before Edge nearly gets the Kimura lock on him. Rowe, however, fucks off for a minute. Comes back in with a right for Edge, who reciprocates. We start exchanging some blows. There's a kick to the arm of Roman. Then a knee sends Roman out of the ring. Roman kind of looks like, oh fuck, okay. However, we get a big Samoan drop ringside to Edge, and then he slams Edge headfirst into the post. Edge rolls back into the ring. Roman, however, stops him. He throws him from the ring, pulls him out. We get Edge slammed into the stairs, and then a second time, once we're back in the ring, the cover doesn't work, so Roman goes to the ground and pound. Tosses Edge into the post shoulder first. Edge is starting to look more and more broken. We get a snap suplex, and then a weird position to grind on Edge, like sort of like sideways. I don't know, like in like the sideways plank position.
Yeah.
Edge also at this point is like a little bloody, and I don't know where the fuck he was bleeding from.
I think it was like his lip.
It looked like there was blood in his eyebrow, but there was also blood on his forehead. Like,
are you talking about Edge?
Yeah.
He had like a scrape right here.
Oh, okay. So Edge breaks free of the submission, only to be tossed back into it. He starts, Pat McAfee says his eyes are fluttering like peacock, and I was like, I'm glad you're having fun, Pat.
That's not the only great call Pat had in this match or after the match.
Oh, okay. So Edge digs himself out, gets uppercut. Roman gets the drive-by, but Edge starts keeps fucking kicking. Roman wants the Superman punch, but Edge dodges, attempts the backslide. We get a big boot to Roman's face, big boot to Edge's face, takes them both down. They start exchanging blows once they're back up, and we get a neckbreaker of sorts to Roman before Edge goes and rolls him up. We get a clothesline to Roman, a facebuster to Roman, and then the execution. Edge then lifts Roman to the upper buckle, but Roman fights back with an elbow to the face of Edge. Edge slams Roman's face into the top of the post, sends Roman ringside. Sends Roman upside down. I don't know what I'm trying to fill in there. He stomps Ro. Edge gets the crossface on Roman, and then Roman breaks free slowly. He wriggles over to the rope, and we get a near spear to Roman once he is back on his feet. But Roman gets the guillotine instead. Edge gets free, but Roman locks in again.
You can tell. You can tell when Roman's guillotine will not be successful when he doesn't wrap his legs around his opponent.
Yeah. Something I noticed too, actually. Funny enough. Because I've never noticed that before. Edge, however, takes both himself and Roman from the ring. He's nearly speared, but he ducks, sending Roman into the barricade, and then Edge spears the shit out of Roman into the second barricade, aka the second roof. It's an Easter egg for last year's Money in the Bank. Yeah. Miss her so badly. Rest in peace, second roof. We get an uppercut to Edge and a Superman punch. And then Charles Robinson, our referee for the evening, is fucking down. I don't know what the fuck happened to him. I don't know. Edge backed into him, basically.
Yeah.
He got Superman punch into Charles.
Yeah. And that, knocked him out.
Yeah. So Roman gets the bottom bar of the chair. Buck comes out, ready to do something. Just to help Charles. Edge headbutts Roman after avoiding the bar. And by headbutts, I mean multiple times headbutts Roman. He gets the bar in Roman's mouth, but the Usos come out. The Mysterios, however, pull them away, ruining my fucking prediction. Dom attacks Jay, gets the seated senton onto Jimmy. We get a Hurricane Rana to Jay from Ray. Seth then comes through and kicks Edge in the head. Roman then finally fucking wakes up from the submission hold, I guess. And is fucking mad. He wants the spear. Edge, however, spears him as Roman's on his way in. The referee is not there, though. So, Edge then is in the position to want the spear. And as he goes, Seth tries to interfere. Edge kicks him off the apron. Roman spears him, wins. I was watching the stream. Mark was watching Peacock at this time. I didn't realize that Roman had won because my stream was on mute. And then Seth just goes into a beatdown on Edge. Edge decks Seth. Then Roman got a microphone and I said, oh fuck, and I turned my stream off because I was like, if something happens, back of my head, I was like, if John Cena comes out, I'm ahead of Mark in this pay-per-view, I'm not going to be able to hold myself back. So I saved myself specifically for you. You're welcome.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
What a fucking ending.
John Cena. But now I'm mad because how did he get out of the Firefly Funhouse? How are they going to explain that?
You can ask all you want. Nobody's going to fucking know, dude.
Maybe that's how they bring Bray back.
Yeah, maybe that's how they bring Bray back.
Ooh, maybe. Because there's no motivation for John Cena to go after Roman right now. Maybe John Cena's a puppet for Bray because Roman took the Universal Championship away from him last year at SummerSlam.
The world is your oyster. I don't think you're right, but the world is your oyster on this one.
I mean, if I was writing it, that's what I'd write.
That's fair. That's fair.
I think John Cena's only kicking off Raw because it's immediately after the pay-per-view that he's coming back. So, he's gonna be all over the place, I think.
Yeah, probably gonna do an Edge.
But also, Bray is on Raw. And then that gives some motivation to cross over. I think the stars line for this one. I think they do. Alright, oh, and apparently when John Cena came out, Michael Cole shouted, "John Cena's here," and Pat just yelled, "Where?"
My king.
Oh, Pat is so fucking amazing on commentary. He is so fantastic. All right. So, you want to talk about the bests of the night?
When do I get to guess?
Oh, let's do that now. So, your final guess who? This time you are just guessing, no questions. Just guess who you think I picked.
Moose.
Yes. Yes, you asked all the right questions, I guess. It was Moose.
It's because it was in my cross-offs. It was down to TJP and Moose, and you said that they held a title, and I was like, I only know enough about Moose to know that he held the title.
In my head, except for one of the questions, it was either Moose or Jushin Thunder Liger. Because of the watch them wrestle in the past week.
See, the thing was is that when I asked if they were a WWE wrestler, and you said no, that's when I took Jushin Thunder Liger out of the equation.
He's not WWE.
Well, then why was he in the WWE Hall of Fame?
They still honor wrestlers that have wrestled in WWE, like even once, like he did. He had one match against Tyler Breeze, and that was it.
Yeah.
Yeah. Also, TJP we did not see wrestle in the past week.
I couldn't remember if he was there for Last Impact.
I don't think so. I think he got injured before that, because that's when they announced that they're having the mystery person.
Actually, no, they did not. We talked about that on Friday night's podcast. They didn't announce that on.
Well,
I think Mr. TJP might not be injured.
he didn't wrestle. He was ringside for Falaba.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Well, you avoided having to drink that last can, which is good because I wouldn't want to see you chug that. So best of the night. Best of this Money in the Bank. We'll skip over promo since it's a pay-per-view. Just go right to wrestler of the night. I'm actually kind of torn on this one, but I think I know who I'm gonna go with, and I don't know if you'll agree. You want me to run through it, or do elimination, or just say who I want to pick?
Whatever makes you happiest.
I'll do elimination. So, actually, I wouldn't. I'll just say who I'm gonna pick. It's Charlotte Flair. She's my wrestler of the night. I thought she fucking killed her match. She turned that crowd from dead as bricks to off their ass. This match is awesome. Just head over heels for her. They were wooing for every chop that she did. She killed it.
I'll go with you because she flipped the crowd off.
Mm-hmm.
Then they started cheering for her, and I was like,
apparently before she flipped the crowd off, she did the DX suck it.
oh, really?
Yeah. She really did a great job today. All right, so there's only one match that I have in mind for the match of the night, but I will still go through all of them, from my least favorite to my favorite. Starting with least favorite, with a 4 out of 10. It's the women's Money in the Bank ladder match. It was fun throughout, but the ending was just so dumb and lackluster that it completely killed the moment. It didn't become worth it at that point.
There were so many opportunities for Nikki's win to just be worth it, and this wasn't.
Yeah.
Basically, you gave us all the women, and you said, out of all these women, Nikki Cross is the one who's going to rise above all of them. And I was like,
I
don't believe that. Thanks.
Yeah. And it tells us exactly why WWE needs to use those illogical endings to Money in the Bank, because this was a logical ending. She just reaches up and grabs it while everyone else is fighting. But that doesn't make for an exciting match. But next up, 5 out of 10, Bobby Lashley versus Kofi Kingston.
Okay.
It was everything that was needed for Lashley's title reign, but it wasn't a very exciting match. It was fine. It was enough. Another 5 out of 10, AJ Styles and Omos versus the Viking Raiders. It was fun. Really, wasn't super exciting. It was just fun. With a 7 out of 10, Rey Mysterio and Dominic Mysterio versus the Usos. This is a really fun match that, if it wasn't for that sneaky little finish, would have been higher, but it was very fun. Also at, that was 6 out of 10. Also at a 6 out of 10, Roman Reigns versus Edge.
Okay.
This did it for me story-wise, but this was not a very exciting match. It was pretty boring through most of it. Whether it was just standoffs, mock-ups, or just very slow pace, it was a trudge to get through. Its fast-paced moments were good, but it was like it's like a needle in a haystack.
Yeah.
Did enjoy when the Usos were stopped by the Mysterios. So Roman ended up getting kind of a clean pin. But somehow, ref always gets knocked out in a Roman match. Every time. You wonder why more wrestlers don't do it. Just imagine Kofi knocking out the ref against Bobby Lashley. Alright, so next up, with a 7 out of 10, Rhea Ripley versus Charlotte Flair. This match was a lot of fun. From what was probably my least anticipated match of this pay-per-view, turned into like just a super fun match. It was one of my favorites. It was so exciting. These ladies put on a different match from what they have been. And them working the crowd really worked in favor for them. And finally, best match of the night, with an 8 out of 10, it's the men's Money in the Bank ladder match. It's one of the best ladder matches, one of the best Money in the Bank ladder matches that's happened. It was a ton of fun. Big E getting his moment was fantastic, and that big ending off the ladder was just the cherry on top. Incredible spots throughout the entire match. It was outstanding.
Well, I'll agree with you. I had a lot of fun with this one.
Cool. So, to run it back, Wrestler of the Night, Charlotte Flair. Match of the night, men's Money in the Bank ladder match. Alright. You want to answer some questions? All right, so let's answer Justice Amy Coney Barrett's question. Any chance we see Cena beat Reigns for his 17th title, then puts Biggie over in the cash-in at SummerSlam? Cena's not winning that title. Reigns is going to crush him. Cena's not full-time. They're not giving that title to a part-timer. Not now.
I want to say
Biggie.
no.
Hmm.
I want to say no, but I just don't know how this will go.
Biggie, I could definitely see cashing in after that match. I feel like it's more likely he'll cash in on Bobby Lashley. Especially if Lashley's fighting Goldberg. But I think the story here is, unless they, on the way to SummerSlam, come up with some really good stuff to convince us that Cena is going to take it over Reigns, it's Roman all the way. Cena's not full-time enough.
I'll believe you. I don't have enough evidence to back up an answer.
Mm.
I can't quite answer that one.
Okay.
Because my brain wants to say that Cena will be there, but I don't even know what Cena's doing at this point, because I didn't think he was coming back till SummerSlam. So
Yeah. I don't know. I'm hoping they do the Bray Wyatt puppet thing. But that's the best thing you could do with him.
Bray Wyatt back.
It gets over Bray Wyatt without having Cena steal the spotlight. Alright, so Miriam has a question. What has been your favorite cash-in moment of all time? Well, one of them has to be the heist of the century. It has to be like one of the greatest. Huh?
I think that's mine.
Yeah. But that is one of the best of all time. I'm trying to think of a better one.
Maybe Bailey's.
Bailey's?
She cashed in that night.
That was good. That was great. That was probably the best women's cash in. One of the worst was like Damien Sandow on John Cena. That was bad. Let's see, The Miz cashing on Drew McIntyre. That was whatever. Yeah, best one, heist of the century, Seth Rollins.
I think that's an obvious answer, but like, that was sick.
Yeah.
It's a fucking sick cash in.
There's a reason it's the obvious answer.
Yeah.
Also,
I mean, if I could have Seth whipping that fucking belt over his head one more time, I would take it.
he probably will soon. Also, Miriam, I am not disrespecting Damien Sandow. That segment that led to the fucking cash-in. Not only did Damien Sandow have an entirely leather briefcase with leather letters, making it look horrible. Oh yeah, WWE disrespected him. Yeah, that was a horrible segment that lasted incredibly long. To the point where I watched it back, I just did not care about it. Like, I knew the cash-in was gonna happen. I was like, this is stupid. I don't want to keep watching this.
I've never seen it, so I can't judge.
It's not good.
Just gonna go with Miriam on this one.
It's a fine match that they had.
It's just the promo that ruined it for you?
Because it's legit just like Damien Sandow's like, I could cash in at any moment. I could cash in right now. But maybe I won't. But maybe I will. And then he goes and attacks him with a chair for like a hot minute. And then decides to cash in as he's laying there. It's lame. It's one of my least favorite. Alexa Bliss had a good one. Against Ronda Rousey and Nia Jax.
Yeah, I guess.
I can't remember many others. Hoping Big E's is good.
Me too. I really do.
Alright.
I get it.
Miriam just said the segment where Cody Rhodes destroyed the original briefcase for Sandow still is one of my faves. throwing it into the ocean and watching Sandow swim after it. That sounds amazing. Alright. What were you gonna say?
I was gonna say that we might see title holder Big E soon.
Hopefully. I mean, he was Intercontinental Champion.
Your title.
World Champion, Big E. Alright, you want to close out the show?
Alright. If you joined us tonight, thank you so much. And if you join us in the future, thank you so much. We will be live tomorrow night for a surely more sober Monday Night Raw. Or we watch Raw so you don't have to. That's our tagline for Monday nights. So if you don't want to watch Raw and you want somebody else to do it for you, tune in tomorrow night. We will be live after the final bell, talking about everything that happened in the match, the singular match, where we will be talking about everything that happened in the episode. So please tune into that, and then the day after that, we'll be doing NXT.
Yep.
My first Raw and my first NXT in 2 weeks.
I bet you're happy to be back.
Oh yeah. It's a pleasure.
Alright, join us tomorrow for Monday Night Raw. In the meantime, our YouTube is the Pinfall Podcast. You can see all of our previous episodes there. If you're watching on YouTube, check out the live show, twitch.tv/the Pinfall Podcast. Our Twitter is at Pinfall Podcast. I'm at the Mark Cameron. Liz is at Eliza Elaine23. And thank you all so much for watching. We'll see you on Monday for Monday Night Raw. Have a great night.